and put it parallel to the wall. Extend the fence a little bit and put the gate on that end. They come and take it, they bring an empty one, switch them out and go.
There you go.
You wouldn't take up any, I don't believe any more spaces.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Okay,
So it's a dumpster, correct?
yes.
It's got those walls, correct? It's a container.
Yep.
So how would you dump a piece of furniture, heavy furniture in there?
The same way they
you know,
fill them
maybe they
out.
should-
But one at a time, I can't hear.
The same, they're not that high, they're long.
They're long.
And there is the door
The
that's
same
open.
way they fill them on job sites and
Okay.
everywhere else.
So that would also require more parking spaces if it's a
I
longer.
don't believe so, we'd have to get. a
Well, I
measurement.
think it's
Maybe.
2 parking spaces shared between River Bend and River Terrace and River Shores. So,
If it took up another half a space and.
well, there is no such thing as, it's a full space. There's no such thing as half yet.
From River Terrace.
Okay, well, they have inadequate parking, you know, in city standards. They don't have enough parking. So I don't know if that would be allowed.
Is it something to be?
Could Middle River pay River Shores for a couple of spaces?
Sure, but when that was brought up, people did not want that, to see a dumpster out
We
there.
would do
Yeah.
anything not to see what we're seeing now.
John, you're talking about lengthwise along the wall,
Go parallel to the wall.
but it would
A
always
30-yard dumpster.
require a clear space for them to back in and empty it too, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They have that claw, and that would be able, they would be able to empty that.
That's what causing all your damage is the claw.
No, I get that, yeah.
To me, it is an amenity that we don't need to offer.
I agree.
People can call 1-800-CALL-JUNK when they have furniture and things to
I
get rid
agree,
of.
but
And they
people-
can
I wanna know-
pay for it out of their own pocket.
I want to know,
$100.
are there any restrictions to what you can and cannot put in that dumpster? There are none. So with none, they'll throw toilet bowls, whatever.
That's what it's there for.
That's what
But
it's
it's an
there
amenity you
for?
don't have to
I don't have to
offer.
look at that, you don't have to look at that passing by, Tony. You know?
Sure.
So how could we get 2 pickups
Get rid of
and
it? It's been there
Yeah.
20 years. Can
the
we
2
leave it?
buildings pick up the
Uh,
other months, other pickups?
I recalled from over 20 years ago, we did not have that. So the problem is, it's there now. When the structure was down, when the city came and had to fix the pipe there, people just automatically dumped there. So it will look, they're now conditioned, there is something there. But 20 years ago, it used to be left either in front of the regular garbage, and they would take it. But today, I don't know that the garbage men will just take something like that. So you're going to need a
20 years
container.
ago isn't gonna work today.
No, I'm saying that.
I think that the issue is that we have many more renters on the premises, and they're changing, I'm not standing in judgment that that's bad or good, but that's, and they move furniture out, so that's why it's not 20 years ago, it's now.
I think the simplest is to have a second pickup and somehow
That's right.
we have to pay.
for it.
Absolutely a second.
No
think-
problem.
I'll
I
talk
want
to
it
my
gone.
board, but I don't think it's
I don't
gonna be
want
an
to
issue.
offer it as an amenity.
It's not a
anymore.
problem to have a second. The only thing is, somebody has to call.
No, it has to be,
Okay, so
nobody
we'd
has
be
to call, make an
charged to-
appointment. I'm gonna come on the 15th, I'm coming on the
Yeah,
30th.
the
Okay.
same thing they
We don't
do.
have to call. You make it for the 15th and the 30th.
You can't
What's the
tell
big
the
deal?
town how to operate.
Excuse me?
You can't tell the town how to operate.
Well, you
What-
just-
let me finish.
You're paying for
Two
it.
pickups a month,
Guys,
one
let-
being the floor.
Let's go.
Is it a service you pay for? I'm mixed up.
No, you're not paid for it. It's part of the garbage service. And I also want to inform everybody, and this is a fact, and you can discuss it with Steve. The city doesn't always pick up the garbage, meaning the recycling on Mondays. And they also don't pick up that bulk on a timely basis. I don't know if you're all aware of that.
Get rid of it. You don't have
Get
this
rid of it?
problem. Get rid of it. That's all you have to do.
They're gonna throw the trash
They're
in
gonna,
anyway.
Vinnie, they'll throw the trash in.
No,
No, you
no,
build
Go ahead,
something
Bruce,
there.
you're running the
Now, people
meeting.
start parking there.
Try and control
Let people
it.
start parking there.
That's right.
It's a space.
All right, I have a
Okay,
question, and-
sure.
and again, Tony, I'm sorry, I'm new.
No, that's okay. That's how we get things done and
I keep
explained.
deferring to you. I don't know much about the bulk trash. I thought someone had said to me, and it may have been something that I read, that we had to offer the bulk trash. But if that's not true, then I vote to get rid of it.
That's
too.
not true.
Bruce, I can't answer that question. All I know is, I'm going
Where
back
we put
years
it up,
ago,
you
it
put it
didn't
down.
exist. today, it must exist, because even if the structure is down, people will just, they're used to it now.
But if we change that into parking spots.
You can make it unused to.
Yeah.
A no dumping sign.
Put a camera there.
Yes.
No
Parking
dumping,
spots
put a
again.
camera.
So I like the idea of the dumpster, but I don't know if the city will come, I know they got the floor.
One other question, why, does it have to be Oakland Park? Can it be waste management or something like that?
Oh, that was a fight many years ago. They must pick up the garbage.
Why?
It's their law. It's an ordinance. You cannot get a private company in
They
here.
won't let another company.
I already went
The
through
school
that.
picks up, waste management picks up at the school.
Which school?
Next door.
Next door, Episcopal.
It's waste management?
Yes.
Yep.
At 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a private school.
Well, it's
But this is-
No, within the city limits of Oakland Park, because we've had this conversation with them, because they weren't picking up our garbage.
Oakland Park goes to the river.
Correct.
And all the way to Federal.
You know what, John? Go over there and ask them how they get away with it, because we have
I'm
money,
not saying, Jim, I think
hours.
the easiest thing is to have, I'm not against getting rid of it, because people are gonna throw the stuff there.
No,
together.
it's not gonna
Between
work.
the cars. Have the two pickups, and somehow Ben pays for the second one for 6 months, Terrace pays for the second one for 6 months.
The city, I don't think, is that capable of handling that kind of,
Well, that person, Bruce would call and say, pick up and charge it to the Riverbend.
yes. And then you get reimbursed. It was a
Exactly.
simple thing,
And
no
someone
problem.
from Terrace has to do, well, let's try that before we take it down.
Right. Well, I don't think
Falling
we,
apart, it's falling apart. Who's gonna repair it right
Yeah.
now?
We gotta get rid of it, whatever's there's gotta come down.
Maybe put charging stations in there. I think we
Gotta
need
put a
to
camera there and see what they
use
cost.
terror.
I mean, it's obvious that it's a problem for all of us. It's an eyesore.
Yes.
So
Only because it doesn't get cleaned out.
Correct.
Yes.
If it got cleaned out twice a month, I don't think it'd be enough.
I don't think that's the problem. There's probably illegal dumping as well.
Well, there was paint put in there. You
Yeah.
see the paint all over the,
But I mean, it was empty just the other day when I drove by this morning. There are full-size large boxes in there that should have been broken down and put into recycling. People don't follow the rules, but we don't have any chart that says
Yeah.
these are the rules. But also the enclosure that holds it, it keeps falling down. It's not gonna stay up much longer.
Bruce.
So it would have to be taken care of. The structure has to be put back up. So the question is, if you go back to the city and say, look at what you did, what's the city gonna say? Too bad, too
well, I don't
sad.
think it was all their part. It was a lot of stuff piled on top
Not
of
their
there.
fault.
It wasn't all their fault. It was coming down before they even got here.
They're not, the sides were bolted.
Sure. People were putting stuff on top of the pipes and all that.
I
So it
have
wasn't the city all of it.
talked with the board, but as Riverbend president, I have no problem paying for a second pickup once a month.
Right, and you need to be reimbursed for that.
Correct.
I second
So,
that.
what you may wish to do,
John, you have a question?
Well, a question, yeah, question, I guess a question, yeah. Am I the only one who thinks that even when that fence was up and closed, that it wasn't it's an incredible eyesore? Because you can see right through it, and you see all the garbage all the time, even when it's
Absolutely.
closed. And it's falling down, and even if the fence is fixed. And just coincidentally, today I was up at my brother's condo in Pompano Beach. It's about the size of the River Shores buildings. And there was a truck, Alpha Junk Solutions, old furniture removal, construction debris, estate clean out. You know, this is what they were doing there at someone's apartment. They were piling it in. You can rent a U-Haul and drive up to Pompano, which is our Oakland Park dumping site. You could rent a U-Haul in what do you call it, Wilton Manors. You can drive it over here, fill your truck and bring it up there. Or you can hire one of these companies. And I understand the idea, as John said, that some people may continue to dump. But then you need a camera or something to catch these people, because I know
but
that's
I
gonna be a
think we have
problem
a
initially.
solution. I think we have a solution. John came up with the solution. John, every month, call Antoine at the city, say, we want a second pickup, bill it to Riverbend. When you get your bill, email it to me. I will readmit the monies back to Riverbend. Usually it's immediate when I pay a bill. And that's our solution.
Someone's gotta talk to River Terrace about this also, I can't speak for them. I'm
Well,
just-
wait a minute, it's gonna be on a you're gonna set it up automatically. So,
Yeah, but it's gonna be done on a phone call, correct?
well, this is how it used to be done. River Terrace used to call when it was full, because not every month, but it looks like, again, going back a few years, because it needed to be done when it was full. So if you want to set it up automatically, I'm sure they will just come out and you just give them your garbage number, your account number, and then they will bill whatever. The only thing is, it's not, at that time, it was not the same. One time it would be 175, one time it would be 250, sometimes 300. So I'm letting you know now, I don't know how, giving you an idea, I don't know how they will do it. You must speak with them.
I would have to run it by the board.
Bruce, I have a question.
Okay.
We had 2 pickups, okay? What was the total of the 2 pickups? Does
Just so
anybody
you
know?
know.
The cost?
The cost of the 2 pickups.
What do you mean by 2 pickups?
The other day, they charged
Twice a
me
month.
twice. No,
Two
that's.
trucks, I don't think they charge us twice. It took 2 trucks to take the load of stuff away.
Oh, they don't charge us twice.
I don't believe they charge for
No,
that.
you have a misunderstanding on
I
something.
didn't know what it was. I
So I'm
didn't
gonna
misunderstand. I
explain-
wanted
no,
somebody
but I'm going to
me.
explain it.
Is it?
What happened, that's why they don't always pick things up consistently. When their trucks are full, they're done for the day. So they had, maybe
That's not what I'm asking.
they had
And you-
partially
Just
finished.
tell me what- This is what I wanted to ask you. The truck, it was empty, I watched it. The truck came here, it was empty, it
Right.
got full.
Right.
The guy left.
Correct.
He had to come back again and with the rest of the stuff.
Oh,
He couldn't
well, then
take
they
it
didn't
off.
fit.
I
Okay.
want to know what that cost, the 2
There's no
pickups
extra charge
in
for
that.
that.
No.
No extra charge coming here twice in the same day.
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
We take, as far as I can tell, it's $200 a month, and that's a flat rate.
That's because they were late coming, so
Right.
they.
Yeah, are you sure that truck was empty
Yeah, I know
completely?
it was, yes, I
Okay.
watched him do it.
Because Steve is telling me what happens, why they don't pick up something is they come with a half-full truck.
That's
So
fine.
the
I've never
first
seen that.
pickup is free. It is included in our garbage. The second, when you call them, or if you want to have it on automatic, you must pay for.
Okay, the first pickup is free, but that's free for 2 pickups in one day or 1 pickup in one day?
I can't answer that. What I can answer is they can't
I'd
charge
like to
River
find
Shores
out.
account.
Well, I would like
So
to
it would
know.
have to be free, since they cannot charge River Shores account.
Okay.
And if they don't have River Bend's account, and they don't have River Terrace's account, with authorization, then they are not charging.
Because there's a contract in place that we pay a certain amount per
And
month.
then how much stuff and how many times they come in one day? It's the same
We
price.
pay two
Okay.
something,
That's what I wanted to know.
$300 a month,
I think we do.
but 2.
But they come twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice a week for us.
Yes, but that's for your individual garbage.
Correct.
3 times a week?
Bruce, could I
We
just
have
back
them
up?
3 times a week.
Oh, they're garbage.
They come
Garbage
3
picked
times.
up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
No, garbage is Monday and Friday for us, regular garbage.
For us too.
Could I just get back to my original question? Does the board think that when that enclosure is actually up and enclosed, that it is not an eyesore? Because I think, I'm embarrassed to have people drive in and visit me and pass that. 'cause
We
it
all are.
looks like
We
it-
all are.
And even when the thing was brand new, replaced by the city, it still was not a sufficient shield. You look at the pile of crap, you see it all, it's just a little bit slatted and hidden. And the fence never looks good because it keeps getting overloaded and falling down. And I just personally think you guys have to either get a better enclosure, which is gonna cost money, like a really cinder block enclosure, or you have to, I think, get rid of it.
Well, I think I like John's idea. That was a very good idea about the dumpster. The only thing is with getting a building, a cinder block thing,
Right.
what would happen when they start clawing?
I know, I don't know.
So you already know the answer to that. It would only look good for 2 months, and then that would be the end of it.
The dumpster was, Peg made a valid point, they gotta back into it. I didn't give that.
Wait, say that a sec, I didn't?
Peg gave a valid point, they have to back in to get it, and if
Pulling
there's
it,
6 cars
dumpster,
there,
pulling it
they're
out.
not gonna empty it.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if they can go like, see, the metal may handle the claw better, I mean, they'll
No,
dent
this
it.
goes up on the back of a truck on a.
No, I understand that, but maybe if we could just put a dumpster there, at least it won't be falling over. But you
You'd
think
still
we,
wanna hide it.
Cover.
well, John,
If the
I don't know,
dumpster's full,
it
just
just
throw it on the
seems to
ground
me
and-
that the issue is greater than pickups, that's my point. It's
so
greater
John,
than pickups.
if
It's
to
an eyesore.
eliminate it, then it's not gonna serve the community, and I think, was it you that said it, we may have to have it? The,
Well, I was asking a
oh, you were
question.
asking, I'm sorry.
I don't think other complexes have bulk
Right,
trash,
they don't.
but for some
They don't.
reason I thought I
Most of them
heard someone
don't.
say
Other ones.
that we had to have it. I don't know if that's true or
I
not.
almost
know in
think
our
you're right.
documents, If you get a refrigerator, you have to have the other one taken out.
Correct, and
Right.
a mattress
If
too.
you get a stove, a mattress, anything.
Furniture too, it should be everything.
Everything, you just
Right.
The only
get
thing
rid
that
of
we
your
provide is
chairs.
what can go in that chute.
Hence
Right.
this truck I saw today.
Right, so there probably
Plenty
is
of
no
services around
law
to do
that
that.
says we
You
have to
can
have
look
bulk
into open
trash.
park law and find
I
out.
tell you what, do look into it, because the only thing is, you're getting warned, you're gonna see all the junk outside your dumpsters. That's River Terrace, River Bend, and River Shores, so I don't know that's an answer. And again, 20 years ago, that's what we did, before that thing existed. So,
Hey,
Right, and I don't know how to solve that with
Try
the individual buildings. I'm assuming that a lot of the bulk trash, as folks said, come from people who are moving in and out constantly. It amazes me that when you empty it, it's filled within a week.
well, there's construction stuff in there.
Right, but as unit owners, if we don't want that monstrosity there, if we can get rid of it, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
It'll be so much less of an issue for all of
Why
us.
don't we just get rid of it
It's in
and,
such bad shape right now.
if there's repercussions, we can always get another
Try it.
dumpster.
Try it, get
Let's
signs,
just try
no
and get rid of
dumping.
it, no
And
dumping.
I would say that if,
Bruce, make a motion.
Take it down, try it.
Well, wait, we're in the middle of the budget.
hold on a second. Tony, I agree with what you said a few seconds ago, that if we take away the bulk trash and people then start dumping the stuff at their own dumpsters, it's gonna be a problem. But then I think it becomes a building issue. If they start doing it at the Bend, we can deal with it at the Bend. If it happens at the Terrace, in her building, the Terrace can deal with it. If it happens at the Shore in the various buildings, then you can deal with it in that way. And that way, it's left up to the individual buildings to deal with the overflow of trash if it's in their dumpster.
Well, the only thing is, Bruce, see, we have Basil and Steve who can dump it in the dumpster. What happens, how would you deal with it? I mean, it's not my business, but how would you deal with it from River Bend?
Let them share the 3 buildings. What, like we
No.
have the rubbish thing.
No, I'm
No,
saying
no,
that
no.
each individual
He just said
building-
individual.
So Riverbend would deal with, if someone started
There's
throwing
several
furniture,
dumpster.
yeah,
Yeah.
if someone started throwing furniture in Riverbend's dumpster, we'll deal with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
And we're gonna know where it came from, because we're not that big a building.
okay.
No.
Now, what are you saying Steve and Basil use it for?
Well, what would happen if somebody left a piece of furniture out in front of our dumpster? I mean, Steve or Basil would get a hold of it, but how would you handle it? You would just have to find whoever. I'm only trying to bring out a
Right,
better.
no, that's a good
Elevator,
point.
Take
That's
it
a
back
good-
to the unit it came from.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you can't stay awake 24 hours a day and watch these people at 3 and 4 in the morning hauling a
This-
couch out.
We have 35 units. You pretty much
We
know
know
who's
who's
doing
we
what.
know
Just on River Shores.
Okay,
I mean, the
but
larger
again,
You know
problem
what
would,
everybody's couch looks like, right?
Yeah.
but
Brian?
certainly the
There
larger
should be
problem would be
cameras up
for
there for each
users.
building.
Yeah, the camera.
I mean, you have,
Okay.
I don't know how many buildings you have, 6 buildings, 6 different dumpsters.
And people moving out every other
It
weekend.
would be harder for you to monitor than it would be for us. But I don't know any other solution,
No,
quite honestly.
I said, we used to do it. It's, you know, it's not the end of the world, but I'm letting you
After
know.
we have, we could put cameras on each dumpster.
Well,
Yeah, go with the camera.
I make a motion to get rid of bulk trash altogether.
Good question.
well, I think you have to find out first if you can get rid of it.
I agree.
You gotta-
I agree.
we gotta
But I
find
can't
out
do that yet.
first.
I don't,
Do those
I'll be
parking
happy to
spots
do it.
belong to you, the River Shores?
Combination, River Terrace and River Bend. I mean, River
You have like
River
one
Shores and River
we have
Terrace.
one Where the dumpster is, you have one and we have one?
I think it's like 2.5 spaces, so I don't know how it's exactly.
Okay, well, let's find out from the city what we are required to provide, and
Why don't you just get back and why don't we agree now?
You said, Antoine, do you have a phone number for him?
I have
or
his email.
Great, can you, if I give you
Ah,
my email?
yes.
Great, thanks.
So, I'm sorry, where were we? Why don't you find out first?
Yep.
And then why don't we agree, but you realize people may continue dumping there, so you're just gonna have to put something, I don't know, a car or the the blue bins or something, so people don't, they start getting used to not doing that.